So if we take a look at this picture here, we have this picture of the shark just cruising along in the ocean, but attached to the bottom of the shark, you have something called a remora. And a remora basically is using the shark to transport itself through the water, so it hitches a ride on the shark. And sometimes, when the shark gets into a feeding frenzy, and all the scraps of flesh and meat from whatever it is that the shark is eating is floating around, the remora will detach itself, scoop some of that stuff up, and then reattach itself to the same shark or maybe a different shark. The remora benefits on getting a ride and getting some food, and the shark doesn't get anything from the remora, but it's not really hurt by the remora either. And then lastly, we have parasitism. One easy way to remember with what happens in parasitism is the fact that most of the word parasite is in this word. And as we know, parasites aren't very good. So by definition, parasitism is a symbiotic relationship where one species benefits and the other one is harmed. In our example here, we have ants and a zombie fungus called cordyceps. And what will happen in this relationship is this. The cordyceps fungus spores will get inside of the ants and then cause the ants to do some weird things. And eventually the ants are going to crawl up a twig, latch onto the twig, and what will happen is those spores will then start to create a brand new fungus inside of the ant, and the fungus will actually grow out of the ant, killing the ant and then using the ant for food. As you can see, the zombie fungus, so to speak, benefits because it's getting food and a host to help supply itself with nutrients so it can grow and develop. And unfortunately for the ant dies. Now let's move on to our other two relationships. So the next interaction we're going to talk about is competition. Competition occurs when two or more organisms seek the same resources at the same time. So some of these resources include things such as food or living space. For example, if we take a look at this picture here, we have two lions battling it out. So perhaps they want to live in the same territory because the territory provides enough food, enough protection, enough water, all the things that it needs to survive. So this living space would be very, very attractive to these two tigers. Well, only one tiger is going to get it. So when two animals are competing for the same things, sometimes the animals will fight it out to establish dominance over the other. Whichever one is the dominant animal will win the territory. So that's what competition is. The last interaction or relationship that we're going to talk about is the predator and prey relationship. This one's pretty cut and dry. The predator is an organism that captures and eats another organism, and the prey is the organism on the other side of that coin. Prey is an organism that is captured and eaten by another organism. In our example here, we have a gazelle running away from a cheetah. So since the cheetah is giving chase, trying to capture the gazelle so it can eat it, the cheetah is the predator in this relationship. And unfortunately for the gazelle, it's the prey because it's the organism that's trying to get eaten by the cheetah. And that wraps up our interactions and relationships amongst organisms in an ecosystem. Thank you for your time, boys and girls.